What's up, everyone? Welcome to Podcast Elrond, episode 6. I can't believe we're here already.
6.
Hell yeah, dude. What's up, Stephen? How's life been going, man?
Dude, life has been crazy. Lots of things have been going on in my personal life, and I'm happy to be back here with you, man. I've been trying to put some stuff on the YouTube channel to keep everybody happy, but here we are, episode 6. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Yeah, as always, the growth on the YouTube channel has been phenomenal. We couldn't thank you guys enough for supporting us. I mean, geez, we're at 364 subscribers,
Nice, yeah.
I think, something like that the last time we checked, and the community has been awesome, and we're just excited to be bringing this stuff to you guys. Elrond has, as we all know, has been on an uptick, which is kind of nice to see because, I mean, damn, that was a downturn, wasn't it, man?
Yeah, it was a down trend, and that's about as much as I can say about it. Whenever it comes to on Twitter, as Alec, you know, I like to post analyses and stuff like that, and I'm bullish on Elrond, so it's hard for me to really touch on really the bearish outlooks sometimes because it's, you know, not fun to think about how a low price could go unless, of course, you're looking to buy. So yeah, it's been a downtrend, but I posted an analysis actually last night. I posted a quick video actually. I don't even know, Alec, if you saw. I posted like a 5-minute video on podcast Elrond.
I did
urgent
see.
Market update. So if you saw that, thanks for checking it out. And yeah, the positive vibes are in the air, and looks to be some interesting price action and volume. The volume is what I've been most excited about. These aren't just little, you know, pumps with nothing backing it. People are consuming supply.
Yeah, dude. There was this thing that happened. Someone called it a God candle, and I had to look that up.
Yeah.
And I think it might have been one. There was, I think, a $20 million purchase order of EGLD that was made a couple days ago, and it shot the price from what 180 when I woke up that morning, and then I look back and I'm like, how is EGLD already over 200? Because it was like it was like 30 minutes of me like getting ready for work and stuff, and then I see the stuff hitting Twitter, and then that ridiculous like just green rocket towards the sky, and you look at what the green rocket went all the way up to, it was like 270. Of course, it corrected itself, but someone fat fingered an order, man, and it was really something.
Yeah, when you say fat finger, I've seen that phrase before. Does that mean that somebody just like made a fat order? Or I thought, I think this is wrong though, that my belief is that I thought fat finger just means that they like accidentally put in the wrong buy price or something.
That
What does fat finger mean?
I've always heard that fat finger meant like an accident thing, but I saw people using it as if like the first definition that you said, that it was someone dropping a large order, and that's how I saw it, was someone just making a huge order. Who knows, it could have been Binance, it could have been Grayscale, because there's all this talk with Grayscale possibly acquiring EGLD as one of their assets. And if you don't know what Grayscale is, I'm not very well versed on it, but I believe it's a crypto investment firm that invests pretty heavy in well, of course they invest in crypto, but anything they're just huge. They have billions of dollars in order to put in crypto, and that's really all that matters.
Right. Yeah, Grayscale is kind of this stamp seal of approval. They release a lot of different articles and publications about promising investment opportunities. And I know for a fact they recently did release their outlook, and it did for the first time include Elrond. So that's something to consider. But, you know, during my time in cryptocurrency and learning about trading and psychology and all that good stuff, I am biased to believe that when price, like what happened the other day, occurs, you know, price action, like on a 1-minute candle, that thing shot up like crazy. And a lot of the time our brains want to look for some sort of reasons. We want to understand how or why something like that would happen, and a lot of the time it's like, oh, it becomes speculation, like, oh, it must have been grayscale, it must have been this, it must have been that. But at the end of the day, I'll join the speculation and get excited about it. But I truly believe that this is really just a bullish indicator, kind of along the lines of just like a knee-jerk nerve-like reaction of what happens whenever there's a positive feedback loop. A positive feedback loop in the price action. You get these impulsive bullish pushes that, like I said, people look for an explanation or reasoning behind. But the truth is that it's really just a mass of people, a mass of sentiment is forming that is just synchronizing, and these feedback loops are really just it's very it's like it's deeper. It's like on the spiritual level how these things kind of like intertwine, and how these impulses. It's like, oh, how could something shoot up like that? Yes, it was clearly a big buy, but the overall market action behavior of Elrond as kind of its price movement is, I think this is just the production, or rather the result of high demand, releasing the Maiar Decentralized Exchange. That was literally a gold mine. And, now after this correction, so many people have onboarded and had an incredible opportunity to buy Elrond at a low price. And I said it in the post I made last night, and I'll say it again, that I think that this really is kind of the beginning. I've mentioned it a few times now. Sorry to get on a soapbox here, Alec. But these poppings that we saw, like these big bumps in price, I believe are just like pre-indicators, almost as if, the first kernels of pop whenever you're popping a bag of popcorn. But eventually I think that like this whole conversation would be different if there was not a value proposition for Elrond. But the fact that we have, under the waters, this iceberg of positive fundamentals, I think everything makes sense, in light of the price action with the fundamentals. And I'll leave it at that. I think that price is going to reveal to us that it is incredibly bullish. I think that we'll continue to see price action surprise us. Also, Twitter, EGLD was trending. I thought that was significant. I've never seen that.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree with your bullish sentiment. It really does just feel like the beginning. I've been driving around back and forth to work, and just like, there's this feeling I have, man. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like that. I know you can't judge the market off of just plain feelings. It's technical analysis and other fundamentals. But like, there's this feeling in the air that something big is about to happen. And
yeah,
it's really not an unfounded feeling, because just look at the CEO, Benjamin Minku's Twitter lately. The dude has been just dropping weird things. And
yeah.
I don't know how
mysterious, for sure.
Very mysterious, and I don't know how else to categorize it, because he's talking about the mecha economics, and like there's these big things that the team is planning, and he's talking about February and March will supercharge the ecosystem, reinforce scarcity, and ignite a new growth. Who knows what that means? But when the Eagle team says something big is going to come, and I saw this in one of your tweets too, that usually it's huge, man. It's big stuff.
Definitely. He has been on Twitter, and I like to play devil's advocate just to kind of play that role. And I am not getting impatient with the team at all. And I'm extremely excited and eager to see what in the world is brewing. Like, I don't know if this is just within the Elrond ecosystem, or the fact that, of course, Bitcoin has been showing some positive strength recently. The whole market seems to be making a turn here, a true paradigm shift, as we come out of what many people referring to Bitcoin were claiming that, nope, we're back into a long-term multi-year bear market. And I will definitely not go into all of the to what degree I disagree with that, because I think that just bears being confused, because they can't just do what I believe is the way to do it, is just to buy and hold. It's again, one of those things you hear a lot of the time, just buy and hold, hodl, whatever. But it was a difficult thing for me to start on, and Alec, you've started your journey And it really does seem to be the best position to just find valuable assets, buy them, support your position, especially as price goes lower, dollar cost average. And, people who are in and out wishy-washy in the markets, those are the people that are creating all of this buzz about, oh, this is another multi-month, multi-year bear market. But I mean, there are so many reasons that I disagree with that. This time truly is different. And with Bitcoin and with Elrond, gosh, like I'll add that Elrond really seems positioned well to excel during this next cycle. I really, really think that the team is exactly right. They have been working to keyword position themselves. Think of them in the scheme of the coin market cap. Where are they positioned? How, what do they bring to the table, and what are they offering? And, as time goes on, we get a lot of, FUD, or just negative facts coming out about the detriments of Ethereum. I don't want to always just beat on the same coins, but Ethereum, Cardano, and Solana are the main ones that I kind of look at. And as time goes on, it seems as though they are not exceeding and excelling as much as a lot of the community members kind of expected them to, whereas Elrond has started from the ground up, started from the code from level 0, and from 0 to 1 they're moving, and the foundation of of just the blockchain and then the design of Elrond is what's supporting the growth and will catch people if and when they're like, all right, clearly these protocols are not functioning the way we want them to, and or there are just better ways to do it. And it's crazy because I'm biased. Obviously, this is podcast Elrond, but Elrond, I believe, is really well positioned to excel.
And not only that, the team is doing their best to ensure that the project excels too, because they just released some new updates to the Maiar exchange, the ESDT token listing. And if you don't know what ESDT is, it's the Elrond Standard Digital Token. And what that refers to is tokens that exist on the Elrond blockchain. Am I saying that correctly, Stephen?
Mm-hmm, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. And so I believe the first ESDT to list was, of course, HoloRide, which had its moments. But I think it seems the team has figured out what these issues are, or people have figured out how to not ape into ESDT listings, and they understand that if you ape in, you're probably going to get hurt. There have been a couple more other listings, Aerovec, which I believe has something to do with Drifters NFT. I think they're combined in some kind of way, or I'm totally wrong when I say that.
It's Nogin. So Aerovec has at least one validator. They're a staking provider, and they created an incentive for people to stake Elrond to their node. I believe it was Nogin, an NFT brand, and they are whitelisting the next Nogin release based off of individuals who are able to stake Elrond with Aerovec. So Aerovec is really cool. It has to do with aviation, and I believe it's decentralizing the entire aviation industry.
Whoa.
So individual pilots, people who can offer their services, don't need to depend on, I'm not familiar with the aviation industry, but obviously commercial airliners, they don't need to do that. This will empower the individual pilots to offer their services. And I've got a friend, maybe you remember, I won't say his name just for privacy, but Dan P, crazy guy.
Yeah.
we Alec and I have a buddy who is a pilot, and he popped into my head the other day. He and I chit chat here and there, but I thought about him, and I'm going to talk to him to check out Aerovec, because he's a pilot. He is licensed, and I think he's practicing. I don't know what the verbiage is, but yeah. So Aerovec is real world use for aviation. Isengard is a exchange which eMoon, an NFT marketplace, recently went down. This is just off the cuff. I forgot about this.
Oh yeah, that was big.
Yeah, so sorry to take a tangent there, but I'll shove it back to your court, Alec. Talking about ESDT. You can talk about Isengard if you want.
I don't know
Yeah.
too much about Isengard, bro. Go ahead on it if you know more than I do.
No, I view Maiar Dex as a avenue to support, and obviously by providing liquidity, that's what we are doing. And at first I was a little bit hesitant to consider pulling out my different LP, whether it be EGLD Mex or EGLD Ride LP, but I went ahead and I will be allocating a percentage of my portfolio to provide liquidity for each of these listings. So over the last week and a half, there were a handful of them, and I kind of expected for several new tokens to list, but I guess I didn't really expect them to be kind of that rapid in succession. Like
Yeah.
I was like, in my strategy, I was like, oh, okay, Aerovec launched, okay. And then another one you're missing on the outline here is Plata. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but that has to do with racing. And I need to dive into all of these. But the point is that I've actually including, and then Beskar token.
Yes, that one seems interesting.
Yeah, so it should be differentiated or at least discussed that, and it's also interesting because Holoride obviously was kind of Elrond's first token listing outside of the Mex token, and that was very official, and it felt like an offering. It felt like everybody get in
Yeah.
line and let's pump this thing. Whereas these new token listings have been a little bit more low key, and then
Yeah,
so
they're niche.
yeah, so
Yeah.
if you go on the liquidity tab, you can see that the Elrond, or rather the user interface lists some of these tokens, but others you have to go in the upper right-hand corner and you have to manually add them. You also have to check a box that indicates that you understand the risks with adding new tokens, because at this point anybody can come along, create a new token, and create an opportunity for individuals to provide liquidity, which liquidity could be used as exit liquidity or a rug pull of sorts. So definitely be careful about. Or not be careful, but just be advised. Understand the risk that you're taking before you become a liquidity provider or buy some of these tokens.
And what's cool about the Maiar Dex though is that they do have some safety mechanisms in place. There's I believe you need $100,000 value at least in order to begin swapping.
Oh, really?
Yep. So, and I believe once that is achieved, you can never do a full. I, I I don't remember, but it's like a way to ensure that rug pulls can't happen on the decks, which is I
Cool.
think it's a really cool thing that the team implemented. And I look it up because I obviously don't know all about it, but it's a cool little
Come on,
mechanism
Alec.
to. I
What
know.
are you doing?
I should have researched it some more,
This is
but
why I'm subscribed.
but they it's pretty cool. It protects the users a little bit, but they have some other ESDT listings that I'm really excited about coming up. Two in
Yeah?
particular. I'm excited about Zoid Pay. I don't know much about Zoid Pay, but it looks like they already have their own card currently that allows Elrond allows top ups of Elrond on their card, so you can use that in real world locations. So that's cool.
Which
They'll-
top up is basically just the same idea as loading a debit card.
Exactly. Yep. And so you can literally load your ZoidPay card, and I guess wherever. I don't know how it works. Does it automatically convert it to fiat? I'm not sure about the details behind that, but they're going to be eventually adding ZoidPay to the Elrond marketplace, or not Elrond Exchange, where you'll be able to swap eGold for ZoidPay and UTrust, baby. Who's not excited for UTrust? If you're not excited for UTrust, then I don't know. I think it's one of the coolest and biggest things that Elrond's doing. If UTrust can get their roots dug deep and start hitting some of these blue chip companies here in America, man, then I think it's I don't know. I'm excited for what UTrust is gonna do.
Yeah, totally. The team at Utrust got together with Elrond, which I mean, it was a acquisition, so technically they're both under Elrond. So, Benjamin and the other two that he interviewed at Utrust, they talk about in the recent town hall meeting. So check that out. Maybe we'll put the link in the description. But yeah, it's really great that these at one point these two separate teams were focused on their own things. But it kind of seems like Utrust was kind of the ones that kind of like laid down, because they were essentially trying. It sounds like through that interview they were trying to accomplish what Elrond was working to accomplish as well. But then they kind of realized, like, Elrond is kind of already, like, they beat us to it. Not that this is a race, and especially too, it's not a competition with them, because they were happy and excited to take on the acquisition and partnership. And yeah, immediately after that video launched, I watched it, and Alec, I know you did too, because you hit me up immediately afterwards, and you're like, "We got to shoot a podcast number 6. We gotta talk about this." So that was clearly exciting for Alec, and talk more about that if there was anything else that really, hit some points for you.
Yeah, man. So some pieces that really excited me about that whole town hall meeting was just the fact that they will be migrating, of course, Utrust token over to the Maiar exchange. And the two people that Benjamin was interviewing, I could see that both of them had a clear vision.
Yeah.
The fellow on the left hand side, every time he spoke, there was like, he knew where he wanted to head. He knew exactly what this token was supposed to provide. And he knew that a partnership is more powerful than both the teams trying to accomplish this alone. And the other piece of it was the fact that the individual on the right, she came from PayPal before, and I thought that was really cool. Someone who's already interacted with the merchant space is coming to head this company, and so she already knows a lot of the ins and outs of merchant practices on using a payment system. And what I really liked is the fact that apparently there's an issue with PayPal. It's something called back charges or something like that, where if a charge doesn't go through, the merchant gets like penalized for those kind of things. And Utrust they won't have any back charges because everything is going to be utilized using smart contracts. So therefore, you have to have the funds in order to do the transaction. So there's no credit card numbers. There's none of that. It's so much more secure. And the coolest part is it's a 1% flat fee for, even if you're a $1 trillion company utilizing Utrust to do crypto to fiat payments. It's incredible, dude. And not only that, it connects with QuickBooks as well to start doing your invoicing for you.
Very
like,
nice.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah. Is that efficiency saving you're kind of referring to there? Is that where that merchant yield aspect comes into play?
I believe the merchant. I need to look up how the merchant yield aspect works, but I just know that merchants will make money by utilizing Utrust, which is such a weird thing to say, but the traditional system is that PayPal used to take your balances, your merchant balances, and they used to take those and use it in the market and literally make money off your money, and you never saw any of it, but you were still paying PayPal to use their system. And that's completely different with this new system, man. And that's what makes it extremely powerful, is the fact it's power to the merchants, power to the workers, power to the people that provide the utility of this product.
That's awesome. I mean, that just sounds like it speaks straight to just the ideals of decentralization.
Yeah, dude, it really does. And I think it's super cool, man.
That's excellent. I actually, while you were talking there, I did want to bring up the ZoidPay blog article on Elrond. Is it cool if I read it for the audience?
Go for it, bro. I don't think I've seen this myself.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and I kind of looked over it, the announcement, just because honestly, I love all the announcements that come regularly enough that I'm kind of just waiting to see the bigger picture as all of these individual announcements come out. You know, they're kind of individual in nature, but as we progress here, we're going to see how they all intertwine. But yeah, so thanks for bringing that back around to ZoidPay, because this seems pretty cool. I'm reading from the Elrond blog, which is just on elrond.com. So about ZoidPay. ZoidPay is a crypto liquidity platform enabling instant card issuance for purchases at any merchant at the lowest fees. ZoidPay was established in May 2018 as a blockchain company focused on making crypto payments easy for everyone, driving adoption to Web 3.0 financial services. It goes on to say, ZoidPay enables the creation of virtual cards which can be topped up with EGLD and other cryptocurrencies and then used to pay everywhere Visa cards are accepted. Users can make purchases via the ZoidPay app and web extension, with additional features such as physical cards and in-store merchant solutions to follow shortly. So, there's been discussion about a Maiar card, which I think will still come, but I think it's pretty clear that there's going to be opportunity to pay with Elrond through a Visa card well before we get anything official like a Maiar card. So this is really cool. I'm excited to see. I mean, and then this gets my brain churning, just questioning these tweets from CEO Benjamin all about Mex economics and what they're doing to fuel this next stage of growth. And really, I'm just blown away, even without any announcements, even without really any execution being revealed, referring specifically to these Mex economic model upgrades and new features coming. And I mean, that's what's crazy is we don't know what's coming yet. The next step will be incredible. I mean, Benjamin is really setting the stage for something excellent. But again, emphasis is that it's going to continue. The team will release updates, improvements, new features, and then they'll let them settle. They'll let the market react to them, and they'll keep working. They'll keep making new partnerships, and we will be reaping the benefits and loving what they give us. All the while, they continue to pursue even more opportunities to add more features and fully and further bolster the entire ecosystem from a standpoint of Elrond into the Maiar Dex and all the other different aspects that are coming. And it's really coming together here, and it's just a matter of time before it really starts to be revealed to us. So very eager.
Yes, I'm very eager as well, and it's just really cool to see the team continue to move forward and step forward, just step after step after step. They don't care about the current USD value of the coin. All they know is, or all they see is that there's fundamentals. This coin will be successful. We just need to keep moving forward, and of course, it is successful. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to share some of my predictions for what I think some of these economic upgrades might be. And
yeah, definitely. This is a great talking point, and I'm excited to hear what you have conjuring.
So for me, what I imagine is going to happen is going to be liquid staking. That's the only thing that seems the most possible, because I remember it was Wesley Kress was talking about liquid staking, mm-hmm. and it just really clicked in my head like this is the next step. And I mean, it could refer directly to Mex economics, and that's why I think liquid staking. If you don't know what liquid staking is, so what we currently do, or if you are staking with your EGLD, that's called, I believe, cold staking, and that locks your funds up for 10 days. Am I correct on saying that?
Yep.
Yeah. So that locks your funds up for 10 days. But imagine with liquid staking, there is no locking of or I guess maybe the funds are still locked, but you're also given tokens or a tokenized version of your locked funds that are able to still be spent and moved around. So now you have liquid, you still have proof of staking, but now it's liquid proof of staking. And that's super powerful in the fact that you're no longer locked for 10 days. You can still make purchases, you can still move money around and provide liquidity to the market while providing security to the market at the same time. So the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it's very interesting to hear about this liquid staking because to me, staking is valuable because those assets are locked and they're kind of, they can't be used to, in a way, add liquidity or dilution to the market.
Hey, I'm back. We cut out just for a second. I was talking about liquid staking, providing the best of both worlds with securing assets and being able to move assets around at the same time. Hopefully that's where we cut out. And Steven, you were just talking about liquid staking, and I believe you were getting into something else after that.
Yeah, the liquid staking aspect is something that I need to learn more about, and I'm excited to see it come to fruition. And it'll be really interesting to see if it does have something to do with what Benjamin has been talking about as these MEX upgrades. But I'm skeptical until I actually see an announcement. So far, it's just kind of been announcements of announcements. And I released a really scatterbrained thread of my own that goes through the initial blog
I saw
post.
that.
Yeah, it was really loose, kind of just brainstorm. Hope it wasn't so much for me as it was for other people to consider what verbiage has been written already by the team to kind of give us maybe some hints as to what might be coming. And I am, the burn mechanism is something that a lot of people guessed at the beginning because right now the issue, if you will, is that the dilution of, or rather through the rewards on the Maiar decks, receiving mechs and then trading them out, is not positively affecting the mechs chart paired with EGLD. And the reason I say it like that is because the US dollar value of mechs is still relatively pretty good. It's not competing as it's not defeating the performance of Elrond from a US dollar perspective. And I think that that's a valuable point to hit on because mechs will, I believe, be a good investment for holding US dollar value, but as the issuance is met with the burn, there will be a point that the MEX EGLD chart starts to turn around, and I believe that the burn of MEX with adoption will really cause MEX to explode in value. And a lot of people are banking on that. A lot of people, I think, are a little bit too eager, given that we're just after the first 8 weeks of bootstrapping. We've still got lots more rewards, lots more issuance to go through. So whatever the update, new features are coming, all I know is that the team is focused likely on providing features that draw attention to increase adoption and usage. I personally don't think that they're going to make any alterations to the tokenomics or the coding perhaps of the rate of burn or how much is burned. There may be perhaps new ways that MEX is burned, but I don't think that they're going to increase that 0.5% of every swap is burned mechanism. I think that they will keep some of those things consistent and kind of hold those out there in the future for adoption to move towards and move into.
Yeah, dude, I agree. I don't think they're going to be touching the specific price mechanisms of MEX. I think they'll just probably be adding some more utilities and different things like that. I don't think it was received very well when they made the locked MEX changes in APR, and so I don't think that's something they want to dive back into again.
Yeah, that happened. What was that? The second week of Maiar Dex?
Something like that. It was pretty early on.
Yeah, so that would have been in early December. In case you're new to the ecosystem, at the beginning, the rewards functionality for Maiar Dex were as simple as you can provide liquidity, or you can stake your MEX for a regular quote-unquote APR, or you could check the box and you would receive 2 times APR in lock MEX. So as we were saying, maybe week 2 or week 3, the team got together and made an alteration to the schedule in that they put much more focus on the long-term lock mechs by increasing the APR there, and they decreased the liquid mechs opportunity. And if you were around, you know that was announced in a town hall meeting, and that same day they put these changes into effect. And in hindsight, it's not a great look, but I think that they rushed that, and I think that was obvious because the Maiar exchange went down for 2 or 3 days after / in the midst of all of those tokenomics being changed, because like I said, it wasn't in the plan. They made an alteration, and then they obviously had to implement those changes. And I think it was rushed just a little bit, or maybe it was just rushed. We don't have to, put qualifiers there. So I wasn't excited about that either, because myself and many others, we understood. We spent hours understanding the economics and what to,
Yes.
do our best to form expectations as to what's going to happen. And that was all based off of the written tokenomics of, this is the APR, this is the issuance schedule, and you can check this box to double your APR. And we liked that. Lots of people had really awesome strategies to utilize, and I dare say exploit that. It's not exploit because, an exploit is kind of negative, but we were maximizing it.
Yes, maximizing profits.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And when they changed that, it felt a little bit wrong. It felt a little bit like they changed. It's not like they changed. They did change. The fact is, it wasn't 100%, but I rolled with the punch. I trusted the team on it. And back then when that happened, I believe in one of our podcasts, I asked the question, if this happens again, kind of at what point does it start to become a much bigger question of centralization? But I hope that they don't make any more adjustments like that, because I don't want that to be in the conversation. I want everything to continue to just flow without them making any minor tweaks. I just want the market to do what the market does, kind of, even if that means the price might not be, very healthy. So I have my own opinions.
Yeah, and I like to think that the team is tuned in enough to understand how people react to certain things they do, and understand that maybe they shouldn't go and do those things again.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
But man, I as you said, I have full confidence in the team too. I rolled with the punch, and here we are. We might have taken an 80% downturn, but man, things are looking good to me. I think we're gonna hopefully be seeing things starting to uptick again, and the team only has big things planned, man. Like once we get this ERC, what is it, ERC 20 bridge completed, bro. I think that's when things are really gonna set fire. If you don't know what the ERC 20 bridge is, it's basically the Ethereum to Elrond bridge, and it allows anything that's built on the Ethereum network to be able to migrate over to the Elrond ecosystem.
Yeah, it has to do with what the recent Maiar Exchange upgrade was, with how anybody can come along and add an ESDT token to Maiar Exchange to be swapped, and obviously liquidity needs to be provided there. I believe that is already live. There is a process as to how that happens. I don't think so, actually. I think the token listing is live, but I think there would be a much bigger announcement. I think that I misunderstood what the token listing was to be the Ethereum bridge. But you are right, Alec. The Ethereum bridge, I do believe, has not been released in its final form. But yes, that bridge, like any other bridge, is both a literal and figuratively speaking bridge to bring people on. which right now there is no, there is an ETH bridge, but what it will do to all ESD20 tokens will be a wide bridge. Right now, obviously, it's just kind of like a single file Ethereum line, but by opening the bridge, it's going to be a I mean, the width of the bridge will not be defined. It will be a garden hose. I mean, I don't, you know what I mean.
More like a fire hose, bro. I mean, it's gonna be like a release of an ungodly amount of tokens. And this is speculation, but I'm pretty sure when we talk about ERC20 tokens, that means Shiba Inu coin, that means Dogecoin, that means Polkadot, that means everything built on the Ethereum network can come. And that, holy shit.
Yes, come. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be really awesome to see this. And it's just so crazy that everybody who's here in the market is really just kind of positioned here. This reminds me of the conversation that you and I shared, Alec, in as we anticipated the RIDE token listing. It's like, as we were waiting for that to happen, it's like, hell yeah, we're all here. We're all excited for this, and we're standing in line. We are early adopters, early investors, and we're ready to take this on. So we're standing here, and we're kind of, buddy with our arms around one another, and more people are coming to see the value in Elrond. And a lot of the time, as human psychology tends to guide us towards what is valuable. And, just like the other day, this one big spike in Elrond got EGLD trending. And, just the idea of, I'm not sure what word I'm looking for, excitement, and this huge market synchronization of, this is something to be excited about, and this is big. And, the more, things start being released, the more there's going to be to talk about. And the list is getting long. The list is, I saw a post on Twitter that I commented, and somebody was just like really like very nonchalant, like, okay, I see people talking about Elrond, like tell me about it.
Yeah.
Normally I don't really engage with those because it's just like, oh man, just do your own research. Like there's too much to like get into.
Yeah.
But I just was like, I'll respond to this and I'll just at least give a brief highlight. But like I literally ended up filling up an entire tweet, and and I wasn't sitting there thinking like, oh, what else? It was like boom, 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 boom. I had like a list of 10 or so different items, and it was all touching on just quote unquote why Elrond. And whenever I saw that Elrond was, or rather EGLD was trending on Twitter, I kind of repurposed it and reposted it again on my main chain, on my main Twitter, rather than just replying to a tweet. But the emphasis is that I don't normally make comments on those posts, but I decided to just I'll just say my piece really quickly. But it was so easy for me to go through and to just knock out point after point of all these items. And I was scrolling while I was talking. I can read them really quickly right now.
Go for it, bro.
Yeah, so again, I just was like, I'll add these things in, and I was just like, oh, this is easy. We got that, we got this, we got that, and I was like, oh man, my tweet is full. So only live mainnet L1 with adaptive state sharding, scarcity, low market cap, live DeFi, Maiar Exchange, and MEX, communicative team, partnerships. Maiar app is 10 out of 10. Ease of minting and buying NFTs, and the community. So I think that was 9 or 10 things. I somehow lost count even whenever I was using my fingers. But it was just like, man, this is easy. And a lot of the time I am like, I need to add more here because there's so much to unpack with each of these points. But the truth is that each of these things can stand alone, because we all know that if you do take the time to dive in and look into them, these aren't just, face value claims that there's not much depth to. Like, the live mainnet L1 with adaptive state sharding, check it out. The adaptive state sharding is what differentiates, as you mentioned, Alec, in that solo session video you posted. You talked about what adaptive state sharding is, why it's valuable. I mean, the scarcity too. You know, people say that Elrond has the smart contract ability of Ethereum, but the scarcity of Bitcoin. So I'll leave it at that. Those several items there just flowed out of me easily, and it's all backed by a really solid foundation of underlying fundamentals.
Yeah, as you can see, Steven and I wholly believe in this project, not only because of what we see as investment value, but because what it provides, decentralized currency. We wholly believe that this coin it has everything. It has a lot of the things that people want out of a decentralized currency, and it's providing in. It's already delivering on those things, unlike Ethereum, which says our next update will be the thing that delivers it. But Ethereum 2.0, they say with Ethereum 2.0, the gas fees won't even be fixed. So what's the point of having it, man? And
Yeah.
if you can just create more Ethereum, there's no hard cap. There's no scarcity with it. So, like, yeah, dude, as you said, this coin has it solved the trifecta, and now it's onto the quadfecta. Yeah, the trilemma, and now it's solving the next big thing, which is user interface friendliness of cryptocurrency for the average layperson to go and buy some.
Yeah, Alex. So, I mean, like, my question to you is, like, when is Ethereum going to fork to ESDT?
Dude, I hope it's soon, man. I hope we eventually get to see some of these blue chip cryptocurrencies being able to be swapped on the Maiar exchange. And when that happens, man, why would you buy Bitcoin anywhere else? Why would you buy Ethereum anywhere else if you can buy it for like 2 cents of a fee? Why would you buy it anywhere else?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, and we're anticipating to see whether this liquid staking happens. I mean, it will happen. It's just a matter of time in that regard. But what we can expect, we aren't even halfway through February yet, so don't get too excited too quickly. But let's talk about metastaking through Ride. Is that something that you plan on participating in? We made a video on it on podcast Elrond, so check that video out if you want to learn a little bit more. But I am very excited for metastaking because it's going to provide 3 different avenues of earning yield. And for somebody like me who's already providing liquidity for Ride, the metastaking is extremely attractive, and I'll be really excited to see how the APRs kind of shake out. Obviously, that's going to adjust as more people take advantage of it, but that should be live in February, I believe. Metastaking, Holoride.
I myself don't own any Ride currently. I haven't liquidated. I used to own Ride, and then I sold it, and blah blah blah. But I don't currently own any, but I'd love to hear about how you'll be taking advantage of this metastaking.
Totally. So it all is a moving picture, of course, because right now I personally don't have a huge reason to own mechs. I collected a lot of lock mechs, and given that, according to the unlock schedule, the lock mechs can be turned into mechs someday if you want it to. My share in mechs is through lock mechs, and right now I'm earning liquidity. I'm earning mechs by EGLD Ride LP. And also, too, I think that Holoride is a valuable asset. The the product will not be delivered to market until, I believe, 2023. So the way that I view this year, 2022, in context of Holoride, is really just this is ramping up the just the excitement around the project from a asset or from an accumulation standpoint. So I think that there's a lot to be said about Ride, as we've talked about in past episodes. But with the metastaking that is coming is, of course, going to increase demand for Holoride, but at the same time, it's probably going to increase dilution of the market for those of you that who might be using it just as an opportunity to generate more liquidity, either to spend in the real world or to accumulate accumulate other assets, specifically Elrond, or of course NFTs. I know for a fact that I used some money, some yield that I earned to buy NFTs. And from this point, the metastaking, once it goes live, just to highlight what the video I posted was about, it's 3 different streams of income, and it's awesome because what you'll be able to do is, speaking from my perspective, what my plan is, big asterisk, because depending on what features, what new updates are coming to mechs, that may incentivize me to spread out my liquidity back into the EGLD mechs pool, which right now I'm just fully in EGLD ride right now because I see the EGLD mechs chart. I just see, IL. What's the word again?
Impermanent loss.
Thank you. Impermanent loss. So I see right now Ride is holding up against Elrond a little bit better. Also, I'm anticipating the demand through metastaking. And also, too, the facts are I'm not dogging mechs. I think the token has its purpose of its own. I'm not bummed about price because, again, my stake is lock mechs, and also the yield, the rate of return on these through farming is very high.
It's great.
We have a lot to be happy about and thankful for. But yeah, so big asterisk because we have some coming updates, some coming features to the mechs economic model. So aside from that, we'll talk about that maybe in the next episode. I'm sure it'll be out by then. But aside from mechs and what could be coming there, yeah, man, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I'll have my EGLD Ride LP staked in the farm, which will provide to me the yield through earning mechs or lock mechs according to which farm you're in. But it will also give you the opportunity to essentially have that ride ownership in the liquidity provider token represented in the metastake. So I'll be having my liquidity in the mechs farm sitting there uninterrupted, making for me mechs or lock mechs, if I go back between those 2 farms, and I won't have to touch that at all. There will be kind of, I assume, a sort of a smart contract that will be pointing to the ride that I own as represented through my liquidity, and that will essentially be my stake in Ride. So you can, of course, just outright own Ride and stake Ride through this metastaking pool, but the metastake, I think, applies directly to those who are providing liquidity, because if you own the token, the liquidity provider token, and you stake those tokens, it's a singular non-fungible token in a way. That represents the liquidity, but they're saying, no, your liquidity represents ownership of Ride, so we're going to give you that representation to earn in the metastake pool. Yeah. So check it out because the opportunity is going to increase your income streams through, of course, the liquidity provider fees, the 0.25% of every trade relative to your share of the farm. So you'll have income passive through the LP fees. You'll be having your LP staked in the regular farm, earning you mechs or lock mechs. And the third revenue stream will be through metastake that will represent the share of Ride that you have kind of represented through your liquidity provider token. So it's all uninterrupted. It's all a streamlined, seamless flow of the ownership you have of these assets and the ability to earn through them.
So if I'm getting this right, let's say all the Ride you have is in an LP token paired with EGLD, and then they give you the power to represent that Ride that is in that LP token in a different farm.
Yes,
right?
The metastaking pool. Yeah.
Wow. So that's extremely similar to liquid staking. Like that is liquid staking, and it's almost.
I see what you mean. I think that is essentially exactly what it is. Like I said, I'm not familiar with liquid staking, but yes, I totally agree with what you're saying. Meta staking, liquid staking, maybe they're just trying to kind of blend these two ideas because we knew Benjamin talked about how there's going to be a ride staking pool, which, you know, is similar to Elrond. I thought it was just going to be, oh, you take your individual ride and
Yeah.
you stake them. But they really upped the ante, because you can earn mechs, lock mechs through the regular farm, but it's metastaking, so it's taking that and re-representing it in the metastake pool, so it's all interrupted, and you don't miss out. You don't, you know, you don't get to choose, oh dang, do I want to stake my LP and earn mechs, or do I want to, you know, diversify and earn a little bit more ride? They're like, hey, have your cake and eat it too. Literally.
Damn, dude. Okay, so now you see why I'm excited for liquid staking. So
Yeah,
because
dude.
that's essentially the same thing, I'm pretty sure, where I have a shitload of locked mechs in my EGLD LP tokens, and
Yeah.
are you like, imagine me being able to use that locked mechs in different ways except for being in only in the LP farm.
Yeah.
Man, I'm excited. Man, things are gonna get cool, dude.
Yeah.
Before we wrap things up, man, I think we should go ahead and hit on the NFT ecosystem.
Let's do it.
There was a big bubble. Things were looking really hot.
Things were hot.
Things are extremely hot. Elrond apes, you minted at 0.8. You had a chance to sell your apes at 10 EGLD floor price.
Insane.
I definitely took advantage. I almost sold everything at the top. I have to say I'm pretty happy with it. I still have Elrond apes. I sold all my drifters, but I'm just gonna go ahead and pat myself on the back and say your boy sold them at the top. But I'm definitely gonna buy some more because I see the utility in having some of these NFTs.
Yeah, dude. The NFT marketplace was very exciting to see it kind of blossom. This, to me, maybe it just felt like this because this was my first, you know, toe dipping into the world of NFTs. But yeah, like I said, I've made a lot through the Maiar decks, and that gave me some extra to put into NFTs. So at this point, I have not sold a single NFT that I've collected. In fact, recently I did a giveaway where I gave away some Elrond, as well as they were Elrond Musk NFTs. So I ended up winning a drawing, and I got like 6 EGLD or something like that. And like I low-key kind of aped into the mint just because I thought they were super memeable with with Elon Musk, and they were super cheap. So I was just like, screw it. But also too, it was pretty awesome. Like, they had Elrond Musk, so unfortunately there was some issues with the developer.
I saw that.
I don't know much about it, but things did not go well. But I, you know, kept true to my giveaway. But the reason I kind of aped into the mint was because they had listed on their website that if you mint these certain Elrond Musk NFTs, that, you know, they were wearing different costumes, they were kind of specialty, literally like you would earn like a bounty. And I think they were either like
$5,000, I think.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, you know, if they were, I can't quite remember, but yeah, I wanted to say maybe they were $1,000 if you find them, but
yeah.
No, but you're right. There was some talk of something having to do with $5,000. But I mean, and they had a schedule of these. Like each time they were going to do a successive mint, they were going to, you know, do drawings. They were going to give money away, and I was just like, oh shoot, I'll just like allocate, you know, a chunk of EGLD, just ape into this a little bit, and maybe if I'm lucky, I'll mint one of these once to reap the reward. But I ended up not getting. I didn't mint any of the Elrond Musks that were the bounty. But the next morning, I woke up and I 2 of my Elrond Musks that I minted won a drawing for Elrond. So all that to say, that was kind of pointless to say, but I did a giveaway where I gave away some NFTs and some Elrond, and now I've forgotten what the question was. Just NFTs.
Just NFT. Do you? Yeah, man.
Damn it.
You got some cool NFTs.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. The reason I brought that up was because the only NFTs that have left my wallet were those Elrond Musks that I gave away. So isn't it great how the tangents I get on are just like so like unnecessary, and then I lose my train of thought, and I'm just like, what were we even talking about? Just to make a simple point that NFT bubble kind of happened, floor prices really rose, but I've collected a lot of projects from Amidas to Nojin to Drifters. I've got several Elrond apes, and aside from those big name kind of potential blue chips we're talking here, I've got just pure art, some psychedelic stuff that I really like called like Dojo Monsters. These are really just things that I appreciated the art, and I wanted to support the artist. So I've got a pretty vast NFT collection at this point, which may someday be represented in some sort of metaverse gallery. Who knows?
Oh, dude, I think there are a couple of people who already have
I've seen them.
Yeah, their galleries are pretty sick.
It is. It's low-key kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't see myself participating in this virtual world very much, if at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I see the value in it. And I see why people would enjoy participating in it. All right. Yeah, man, camera just cut out, but I'm just going to go ahead and say that I'm excited for the Elrond ecosystem. It seems like things are starting to ramp up. Price is looking good. Not only that, there's a lot of cool news starting to come out. So I'm feeling bullish. Steven's feeling bullish. We're feeling good. I'm excited for what's to come. And yeah, man.
Yeah, huge thank you to the support as always. And Alec, you had a tweet blow up. You're making like 8K every month in lock mechs, and that's at the prices right now. So definitely follow us on Twitter so you guys don't miss some of these more intimate looks into our lives. Alec also just freaking bought a home, so huge congratulations. He's sitting in it right now. Lots of things are happening both for me and for Alec, and we really hope that everything is going well with all of our viewers out there. So please get engaged on Twitter. This is a community, and we welcome everybody.
Yeah, man, we're super excited to be a part of this community. As always, comment, subscribe. We are more than happy for you to reach out to us. We'll reach right back out to you. Thank you for the support, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Until next time.
All right, see you, everybody.
Peace.